Since historical times, the indigenous population of Hong Kong had worked on the land through agricultural means. Both men and women had built freely on their privately owned land whenever necessary. In 1898, the Chinese government leased new territories for 99 years to the British colonial government. For the purpose of the management and use of land, the British restricted the indigenous activities on the land by only allowing male occupants to build houses. However, the size of the house were not restricted. From 1972, further housing restrictions were introduced to the indigenous population. To acquire a license to build a house, you must already own a piece of land. The privately owned land is within the village zone. Adhere to the height and size and restrictions. Apply through the lands department. Use private funds as mortgages unable to obtain. Lose the right to apply public housing scheme. After the handover of 1997, Article 40 of the Basic Law states, the lawful traditional rights and interests of the indigenous inhabitants of the new territories shall be protected by the Hong Kong Special Administrative Region. Some have argued that the government lands have been reserved for villages, therefore restricting the supply of land for public housing. This is simply not true and unrealistic. A published government report already states clearly that most government land in the village zones are not big enough or outright unsuitable for the construction of public housing. In the treaties following the Opium War, Hong Kong Island and Kowloon Peninsula were supposed to cede permanently to Britain. Villages such as Bok Phulam Village and the traditional rights were ignored. However, new territories were only leased from China for 99 years. And as a result, their traditional rights were protected and respected in agreement by both the British and Chinese governments. In reality, many countries such as the United States, Australia, New Zealand and Malaysia continue to respect the rights of the indigenous populations. Even the United Nations charters stated national government has the legal obligation to safeguard and protect traditional rights. As an advanced metropolis that upholds the rule of law, we as a society must strive to protect the interests and rights of our indigenous population of Hong Kong.